I'm delighted to see all you here today. When I got up this morning, saw how cold it was, I thought, oh, nobody's going to come out, and I'll just be able to talk to myself. I want to welcome you all to this year's 2012 State of the City Address. I want to thank the Chamber of Commerce for again hosting today's event and for sharing her staff and city staff for organizing. As you know, a portion of your lunch ticket goes towards the Carbondale Scholarship Fund, which assists CCHS students that are attending SIU in the fall. Last year you helped raise $1,500, three $500 scholarships. We ended up raising $1,514.96 or something like that. So this year's goal is to raise $500 scholarships. So you got some loose change, there's a few cans around. So at least through the end of December, or until we raise our goal of $400 or $500 scholarships, you can make additional contributions to the scholarship by buying votes to decide whether I shave or save my mustache. If the votes are again to shave, I promised one of my coworkers that I would be clean shaven for at least a month. Last year I did shave for 4 days when I was up in Collinsville and I saw a fireman with his beautiful farm mustache. His mustache started growing back after 4 days. So you can cast a vote, or 2 or 10, or on your way out today, your loose change or large bills, or you can call the chamber at 549-2146 and vote with your credit card. You'll also see the cans around town, and wherever you see me, I'll have them. And I believe your contributions are tax deductible. Sherry just stepped out, but I believe it goes through the Chamber Foundation. So if you make a check out of the Chamber Foundation, it will be tax deductible and you're helping out Carbondale kids go to SIU. This year's State of the City Address will again include input from city staff, our city manager Kevin Beatty, our finance director Don Rossini, and our public works director Mr. Sean Henry. It's important that we hear from them in order to get a better picture of the state of the city and the direction in which we are headed. This past year again has been an interesting experience for myself and the city of Carbondale. During my first year as mayor, in addition to the evenings and weekends that I spend in this lovely building, I used 22 vacation days to conduct city business. So my doctors gave me some ideas on how to avoid stroke. Although Mike Day, and I guess he's probably out golfing, although Mike Day tried his best to get me out to Hickory Ridge, I avoided playing any golf this year, but I did use a few strokes to swim 3 laps to raise $3,000 for the Park District's Splash Park. I actually had to swim a 4th lap to get back to the ladder. I didn't realize how out of shape I was. My barber also helped me with my weight loss plan by shaving my mustache, but it was too traumatic, so I grew it back. My dentist also told me to avoid plaque controversies, but somehow I misplaced my floss. During my first year as mayor, one of my claims to fame was making the necessary changes along with council to give grocery stores the ability to sell beer and wine. This past year, I'll take credit for bringing ice cream trucks back to Carbondale's neighborhoods. We also reinstated a regular street sweeping program throughout the city, so hopefully you noticed a difference in the cleanliness of town. I also asked the Main Street director, I saw her around here somewhere, chamber director, also to ask their members to help out with the keeping the city clean by cleaning up around their businesses. So we want to give that, we want to show people that we are a clean town, because I'm sure all of you have traveled to places and either seen a real dirty city or a real clean city, and you go back and you tell your friends and family that that was either the cleanest place I've been or the dirtiest place I've been. So I want visitors to come to Carbondale to return home and say, that was one of the cleanest places I ever was at. So I appreciate all your assistance. I have had to send a few letters to some of the local businesses asking them, so hopefully they will help out as well before getting some citations. I think we can all either sing the praises or complain about a lot of things here in Carbondale. I prefer to sing the praises, but without a doubt, we have a great water system here in Carbondale, and a great staff that makes sure it tastes great and that it's always there when we turn on the faucet. In order to maintain the high quality of the system, it was necessary this year to raise our water and sewer rates to make infrastructure improvements that have been needed for years gone by. So these improvements will include the construction of a new $3 million gallon water storage up on East Park Street by the Gateway Foundation, and we also have received nearly $600,000 in state grants for emergency generators to avoid another shutdown and boil orders like we experienced during the derecho. I've always said that the main purpose of local government is to provide for the public health and safety of its residents and visitors. And by the end of 2013, we will have a new fire station that will be built to contribute to the safety of the residents and our firefighters. And also through our fire department, I'd like to thank our chief. The fire department underwent a 10-year review by the Insurance Service Office, and we have maintained our Class 4 public protection classification, which places us in the top 10% of all fire departments nationwide. And also through the fire department, that, as you know, keeps your insurance down, our insurance down, so it's good for business. Also through the fire department, the city's emergency operations plan received approval from the Illinois Emergency Management Agency, also known as IEMA, and the city was also re-accredited by the National Weather Service as a storm-ready community. City staff members have done a great job at reducing the costs of doing business of the city. By putting our insurance policies out for bid and by partially self-insuring, we will save about $500,000 this year for our liability and disability insurance and about $600,000 on our health insurance costs. We've upgraded the City Hall and the Civic Center HVAC system, so we're hoping to see some cost savings on our electric bill. This upgrade and the upgrade made by the hospital and several businesses in town contributed to Carbondale receiving the most progressive city award from Ameren. We have it out. Is there anyone here from the hospital? Okay, well, I think the biggest contribution was from the hospital for a lot of changes they made, so I want to give them things. They get a big part of that credit for getting this award. Besides this sign, a couple of other good signs that we have is our home rule sales tax revenue was up 1.2% over the last year, and revenues from our regular sales tax is up nearly 3%. Not a whole lot, but it's better to be up than to be down, I think, as we all agree. There are a number of announcements of new businesses that we'd love to share, but we're waiting for the developers to give us the go-ahead. However, since last year, a number of new businesses have opened up in the University Mall, including Ross's Dress for Less. A second frozen yogurt shop opened on the east side of University Place, which I don't know if you can tell I've gained weight. And Pita Alley and Little Taste of Cuba have opened on the west side, which I would highly encourage you. I guess I should be pointing that out. Bandana's Barbecue plans to open by the end of December, and I'm delighted to announce that McAllister's will be opening a Carbondale location in 2013. A new Mattress Firm opened in the old Blockbuster building, and a new Family Dollar store opened in the old Hollywood Video building, so we are reusing some of our old stock. The Egyptian Revival Day Spa has reopened in Carbondale while they are rebuilding after their fire in Williamson County, but we're hoping to convince them to keep the Carbondale location permanently. Downtown Carbondale has its unique challenges, but along the 12 blocks of Illinois Avenue from Grand past Oak, there are only a handful of vacant storefronts. Although panhandling is a daily occurrence for people that live in large cities such as Chicago, St. Louis, or Portland, the panhandling in the downtown and other areas of Carbondale has become an issue of late. So I want to assure you that the city staff and council members have been researching various approaches to deal with this matter. And as already was announced this evening, we will be voting on and discussing an ordinance or in addition to our ordinance to ban panhandling in areas zoned for businesses and public property. As I've mentioned many times, Carbondale has the most diverse city council that has ever seen, but we all agree that the downtown area has been neglected for too long. However, finding funding for major facelift is not an easy task, as you're all probably aware in your different businesses or nonprofit organizations. However, on December 28th, we will be voting, actually a new downtown TIF district will become official, which has already generated some interest for downtown development. Excuse me. Since Carbondale is the cultural capital of Southern Illinois, we should have a centralized entertainment district. Although the Sports Blast Wedding and Event Garden is a great addition for hosting cultural events, and I don't know, how many of you have been out there to visit the new addition? That is fabulous. It's a great site, and I think it's going to draw people in from everywhere. And also the Copper Dragon will continue to be a popular site for concerts, but with over 15 venues in the downtown from Oak Street, the Premier Lounge, all the way down to the Hangar and south, and the Varsity Center for the Arts. So we have at least 15 venues in the downtown area that are set up to provide concerts or other entertainment. The downtown is the perfect location to develop an entertainment district. Proceeds from the new TIF district will assist with the development efforts, but I've asked the city manager and city staff to research other funding possibilities, such as an entertainment ticket tax or an increase in the food and drink tax to help fund the redevelopment of the downtown into a friendly and inviting entertainment district.